I had to look up specifics about her job. And I just bring that up to say that writing on my phone is just something I do. So I got in the hair. We'll just have to deal with her today and every day. She's so long and so hard to deal with. It's a different struggle than before. Anyway. Good morning, friend. Good morning, friend. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Quinn. I'm an applied mathematician in my late 20s. And on my channel, I talk about how I use my systems expertise to design my dream life by making intentional choices. So I generally talk a lot about systems, productivity, healthy habits, womanhood, work-life balance, things like that. And I want to welcome you back to another AuthorTube video, the writing blog edition. I'm actually writing my very first novel. It's going to be a speculative trilogy set in the future where photos can come to life and a certain woman's life unravels when one of hers does indeed activate. And I'm very interested in writing this story, and I introduced the concept and my outline process last video, just going through how I went from a singular question to building a world and now having an outline. And I actually now have words in chapter 1. And I'm very excited about that. Because of that, I really want to maintain the momentum I'm feeling. I initially was planning to do some kind of once a week I'll visit my novel kind of thing, because in my day job, I mentioned before, I'm an applied mathematician, but specifically I am a postdoc research scientist, which means I'm firstly post-PhD. I'm 2 years post-PhD. And I'm in a training temporary position. It's a temporary position to train you. And I still have more training I'm trying to get after this. But all of that is to say that I spend a lot of my time working. I'm a full-time scientist, essentially. And contextually, though, what that looks like is not a 9 to 5. Thank God. It's why I chose to stay in the academy more than anything, despite its many, many flaws. I have the summers off, we have this winter break and things like that. And also as a research scientist and not like a clinician or a teacher, I don't have set times where I have to clock into work. I have an agreed upon time frame to arrive with my boss, and everyone kind of just gets there when you get there. Our ethos, it seems to be, is to get the work done. And when you get it done and how you get it done is your prerogative. You're a grown adult. It's like the way it functions. I really appreciate that. I'm not micromanaged in my time or my tasks, but I do check in with both my bosses every single week on what I have done. So even though it's up to me to get it done and however I like, if I don't, I'm gonna have to admit that. And so it's a lot of self-management, a lot of time management, and that's why I talk about timing so much on this channel, because even though I'm not my own boss, I am still the architect of my time, and it's very complicated. So I want to try taking the momentum I'm feeling and merging it with my actual life. Like that once a week, I thought would help me protect what I need to do at work, but I'm feeling such momentum with the story. And now that I have actual words, I don't know how many yet. I haven't counted. I haven't looked at the counter, but I would like to institute a practice where I become a consistent writer, where writing is something I can at least think about and attempt every day, even if it's not in my legitimate manuscript. Maybe it'll be in the creative exercises. So that's what we're going to be doing these next couple days. I'm going to take you with me my full day, today through Thursday, as I'm back to work. Yesterday was MLK Day, and I was off, so it was kind of easy to just do whatever. But even though I told you I have that flexibility of when I arrive, I still have things to do and would like to get to work at a reasonable time while also creating space for writing. So this week I am testing my writing system. What's a writing system? That means I have specific steps I want to take with a purpose in mind that I'm going to repeat at a consistent frequency. That's what makes it a system. So what I have for 2026, what I want to become a habit for me, I want to write 30 minutes a day. Every day I would like to do 30 minutes, so much so that I'm now tracking it on my habit tracker, which makes it a very intentional thing. I will be grading myself on how well I stick to this. That's how important it is to me. So 30 minutes of writing. I also am still going to do the weekly exercise I started early January of the micro moment exercise. And it's essentially taking a moment from my day, like getting dressed, going to work, a meeting I had, whatever. Take a moment from my day and write it out very plainly, choose a tone of voice, and then rewrite it as a scene. And just as an exercise to practice that kind of narrative writing, because that's not what I spend most of my time on. And so I started doing that every Wednesday and I was loving it. But then I was like, this isn't really helping me get words in my novel, but I still like it. So the daily writing, the micro moment, and also I now have a writer's journal, and I'm calling it my chronicle, to use as a specific writer's bullet journal, basically. I bullet journal already, and I have so many things I want to write down for this book that I couldn't put them all in my bullet journal. I'm already on like page 70. We're in January. I'm definitely going to have to get another one for the other half of the year. So I bought my own journal just for this project. Everything about my book is in Notion right now. I have a whole thing in there with my mini and every single thought, and I would like to transfer honestly all of it down to paper. It won't happen tonight or in a single day, but that is the goal, to get all of it down into my notebook, all the relevant, pertinent information, so I can reference it wherever I am as I write, because my writing is in the cloud and I can do it wherever. So those are the 3 practices I want to institute into my life as my writing system. And we're going to test that out. 30 minutes writing, micro moment, nightly check-in. And I'm thinking I would like to add some kind of quantified measurement to this. So 30 minutes is what I'm checking in my journal. It's not based on how many words I get, because 30 minutes could be 10 words. It could be 1,000 words. I don't know yet. But I'm going to guesstimate. I'm a mathematician. I can do that. I'm going to say if I get 30 minutes of writing, that I could get to at least 400, 450 words in 30 minutes. That's what I'm going to assume. So if I'm doing 30 minutes or 450 words a day, that means by the end of this vlog, will I be able to get to 1350 words in my manuscript, while living my real life? That's going to be the goal. And that gets me to what, about maybe 3,000 words a week if I am actually consistent with every single day. I think that'd be lit. I think that'd be a really good way to maintain momentum. So that's our objective. That's what we're going to try to do. And we're going to see if I do or don't make progress. It is currently Tuesday, 9 a.m. And I don't have any meetings. All of my meetings were canceled today. And so I think I'm willing to arrive at noon. I do have a relatively tame to-do list today. Let's see. Let's pull up the Notion. A solid 4 hours of work for work today. So if I get there by noon, I'll be there until like 6 or 7 today. I like that. So we have this morning together, and I do have a morning ritual. I'm very Virgo-like, very anal. I already have a morning routine, a night routine. Well, night routine. And so I'm going to try to squeeze this in, add this as a part. So let's do it, because my tea should be cooled down now. Definitely. I've made it to the sit down and write portion a lot later than I intended to, but it kind of is what it is. Before I get started, I actually need to update my reference doc because when I was writing yesterday, I am starting with kind of a day in the life essentially of my main character, and in that I'm going to be dropping small bits of lore in this first chapter, like trying to set it all up as the book suggests. And I had to look up specifics about her job. So she's from a family of documentarians, and I had to look up what exactly does it mean to be an archivist. I watched a few vlogs of day in the lives of archivists. I looked up the roles and responsibilities, and so that way I can actually capture what her day would really look like and not just what I assume. And I need to add all those details from my Notion to my Google reference doc, and then I can resume where I am, because I'm at the part of the first chapter where she's made it to work and now she has to start doing stuff. And I'm like, what is she doing? So I'm going to update that, and then I will start the timer for my 30 minutes. As I said, I'm behind the timing that I wanted to, but I'm going to get in maybe 15 minutes of actual writing before I head to work, and then I will do the other 15 later tonight when I get home. So I'm going to update this, do 15 minutes, and then check in with you either before or after work. So yeah, let's do it. World building. I need my pinned ones though. Okay. Jade's job. So I've actually not had time to even start the 30 minutes of writing. There was so much that I wrote yesterday from my searches and my notes on people's lives in the archives, because I feel like there's a lot of detail I could really get about this place, and the more that I've written and seen, I think it's really going to be central to the story, because I already imagine her family as being central to the history of what's going on. They're very well-known archivists, documentarians, and so yeah, her working at this place is going to be like a major plot point. Like a lot of the conflict will arise and be mitigated through this specific location, and so there's a lot here to work with. Like when I looked up what's actually in these buildings, like historical societies and archive buildings, there's a lot in there. And a lot of that could be used to be like secrets are in some places, truth in others. Like I'm feeling that. Because given her current position, there are things she will and won't have access to. And maybe the things she doesn't have access to. And like it's realistic, because like as a she's a research historian. I think I can say that. I will just have to edit out whatever I think is too spoilery, but she is a research historian currently, and with all research positions, there is tiered access in these kinds of positions. Like you don't have access to everything, but you know, there's hierarchy basically. And I think that can really play into the story, both the hierarchy of her job and the hierarchy in her family. And all of this truth to be uncovered about the world, about her friend, about herself. Oh my God. So yeah, I've added a lot to her character Bible. I know what she looks like. I know what she sounds like. And now I know what she does, how she spends her time. And also, given like the inciting incident, I had to figure out how that would happen. And I figured that out because I was like, given the rules of the world, how would this occur for her? And given her job and her expertise, it has to be very plausible. And I think it is. Okay. And I already have her friends' stuff pretty also clear. So I am currently in my outline. There's my timer. I need to eat. Okay, I'm gonna stop yapping and go pack up my bag and go to work. LOL. But I am currently at the place in chapter 1. I have hella brackets. So like I'll be writing and I have brackets and underlines. And so where I am now is add sensory details about the building and how she's moving through the space. So we will do the writing, I suppose, when I get off work. Let's go. I've been home for an hour now, and I was actually editing content for Instagram. I am trying to get more intentional with what I'm posting on there so that it matches what I have going on in real life. When you Google Dr. Quindle Jones, I believe my website still comes up first, but then after is my Instagram. So I've been trying to be intentional about making it a portfolio and making sure that it basically mirrors what I'm doing on YouTube and as Instagram away as possible. So I have something now called the goals log where I log how I'm doing on my goals for each month. It's a weekly check-in on my monthly goals. So right now, every week I'm updating how I'm doing on my January goals. And then I'll do it again for February and March. Like I see, sorry, I was sitting down. So these are all up my leg. So now so I see it as a long-term thing I can sustain, and it fits everything I have going on, and I love it. So I recorded this morning, and I just edited and posted it. I had to keep the app open for it to post. And now that's done, and it is 7 o'clock. I also ate what I had for dinner. I basically bought enough food at lunch for lunch and dinner because I knew I wasn't going to want to cook. I'm actually very sleepy. If I go lay in my bed, the whole thing they say about associations is so true. I don't have a TV in my room, and I really only use my bed for sex and sleep. So when I'm in my bed, even if it's just, like I can't be in my bed for any reason outside of that, because I was doing my wall, like I was trying to add things to my wall, and just being in my bed for 5 minutes, I was like, ooh, I'm feeling sleepy. Wait, let me get up. I can't be in this bed. It's like that alone is the aphrodisiac. So now it's good because then all I have to do is get my ass in the bed. Neither here nor there. I still need to do my writing for today and the rest of my habits. I need my 11,000 steps, and I'm only at 8, so I can do my walk here. But before I do any of that, I need to go ahead and write. I've already read my personal interest book for the day when I was walking to and from work, as you saw. I'm reading The 10,000 Doors of January. I originally was going to write my novel about a portal story that I probably still will write. Who knows when. And I was doing a lit review, as I mentioned in my previous video, and I found like 6 books that really sounded really good and were portal stories, and I just wanted to familiarize myself with that. And this is one of them, and it has the word January in it, so I started this month. Will I finish it this month? Probably not. I don't want to put anything past me, no limiting beliefs, okay? But realistically, I probably won't finish it this month, but it's so good. I'm enjoying it. And we're going to talk about my TBR probably at the end of the week when I have time to do that, because I can't talk for much longer. But I said that to say I've read today, so that's good. And I can do that on my tracker. When I get my steps, I can do that on my tracker. And before I do anything else, I need to do my writing because I got to get in the mood for it. And my current process for starting to write is basically just reading some of the vocal guide that I'm using. So the videos that I was watching talked about maybe reading some lines of poetry or of a book that has the kind of voice you're going for or the kind of POV, and letting that like get you back in the mode, reading a few pages or chapters if you must. I'm just going to do a few pages and then write for 30 minutes and see how many words I get. So my vocal guide is going to be my favorite series, Kim Harrison's The Hollow series, featuring Rachel Morgan as a first-person POV character. And did I mention that this morning or before? I don't know, but I love how lived in that series feels. And so whenever I'm about to start writing, I just want to read it now for context because I reread this series every year with my mom. We reread it every couple of years because it's so good. So I don't have to read it for content, even though it's good and I probably who knows what will happen. But because I am familiar with it, reading it isn't going to be a total distraction from my work. It'll just be like I'm now noticing it the way I think about content when I'm watching videos. I'm like, oh, I like that angle. Oh, I like her color grading. Oh, I like from a craft perspective. So I'm reading a few pages before I write for the craft perspective. And then I'm like, right, don't forget dialogue, right? Don't forget scenery, right? It's kind of how it's feeling so far. So we're about to do that. I'm gonna put on some tea. It won't be ready by the time I start writing, but yeah. I have the book as a PDF, so it's on my tablet. It's not, I don't have it physically. I don't have any of her books physically because I guess they're relatively, when did that book come out? I have no idea. A lot of the reads I did growing up were passed down from my mother. She read it and I was like, what's that? So I have no idea when this came out. Dead Witch Walking. 4 out of 5 on Goodreads. I know that's right, sister. 2004, 22 years old. Good ass story. Look at you. Wow. And she's still writing books on the hollows today. Okay. Love that. So let's just get into it. I just wanted to check in after work. Good work day. I got what I wanted done. I submitted some job apps, looked at my code, spoke to my boss. Beautiful. Beautiful. She's not talking to you per se, but she is still thinking aloud in the form of narration. Should I do timer or stopwatch? Let's try stopwatch first and see what happens. Also, I meant to make a playlist for her, but I haven't yet, so I'll have to probably do that later. Let's see if I can find the vibes I'm looking for though. Okay, so I have, first of all, I really like the playlist that I found. I just typed in grief on Spotify and I went through a few until I found one, a pro. And yeah, this one is good. I'm going to save it. Thank you. 6 hours long, period. Thank you, Haley. Love that. I have finished my writing sprint for the day and I got to 38 minutes, so that was not planned. Love that. And let's update the word count. So I started the day at 1304, but about 500 of those words are just the outline. So I started the day at like 700 words, but I'm only going to go with the total and now in my mind subtract the chapter stuff. But so I was at 1304 and I'm now at 1804. Oh my gosh. So I wrote exactly 500 words in this 38 minutes. So love that. 500 words for today. Our goal is 1350 by the end of Thursday. Okay. Love that. We might be on our way. I am thinking that the chapter one pacing might be slow, but I really want to build interiority with my characters. I really want this to be, it's both plot and character driven, but I really want it more character driven than plot driven. I want you to know Jade before things start happening to her, basically. Like, I want you to understand her a little bit, and then when things are happening, you will maybe better anticipate how she's going to react to them, is what I'm trying to set up, at least. So 500 words, hell yeah. Playlist is nice, and I'm getting the groove of her day. Looking up those things was at last night of what her job actually entails, because I had an idea like, oh yeah, her family's this, so she's probably doing that, but then getting into the details so I can move about her space, is that was very helpful. Very helpful. So yay, we can say we've written today. I love this. I love this. Love this. Love this. It's 8 o'clock and I'm mad sleepy. I'm so sleepy. I'm not even hungry. Like, I'm not even hungry. I think what I need to do is just get in the rest of my steps, and then I can probably go to bed. Let's go grab my journal and see what I need to do. So I'm at 8,300, so I need at least a 30-minute walk. God, I want to go to bed. Film writing blog, yes. Daily walk, yes. 30 minutes writing, yes. Submit to job app, yes. Oh my goodness, we are killing it today with the to-do list. Period. Habits of the week, 30 minutes writing, yes. 11,000 steps, maybe. 90 grams of protein, Bed by 9, I might be able to do that. Okay, so if I go ahead and walk, I could go to bed and execute this one. Interesting. So the priority then is steps, while my protein water, let's see what I've eaten. I wonder how well you can hear me. I'm sorry, I didn't have the mic on me. Let's add what we've eaten so I can see what that'll do for me. I had 8 Chick-fil-A nuggets. I had half of them fries. And then I had a full sandwich. So if I do some protein water, and did I have a protein bar this morning? I want to say no. I want to say I didn't have one. Let's say we eat that and we do that. Will that give me 90? Please say yes. 89? Bro, are you being dead ass with me? Well, my spicy chicken also had bacon on it. Hey, I had bacon. I had 3 pieces of bacon on that hoe. Give me my protein points. Thank you. Hell yeah, baby. Okay, so, fuck. I think this means I might be able to get everything but bed by 9. We're working on it. Yes, writing accomplished for the day. So I will see you in the morning, or, well, we're going to unwind together, but then I probably won't speak again until the morning. But yay! I'm happy about this. What other habits have I done today? We'll have to check in and see. Good morning, friend. Happy Wednesday. I'm actually running mad late right now. I went to bed late because I was working in my World Bible last night. After I had turned off the camera, I had some ideas about the locations of the world. Like, I was placing locations along the timeline, and an hour passed. And then I was watching Patreon, and then it was 2 a.m. before I got in my bed. So that's on me. So I woke up really late, and I've not done even my regular morning routine. I haven't journaled. I haven't done anything because I need to get out of here. So I've just gotten dressed as relatively quickly as I could. I did do my skincare, so bless. And I took some cough medicine because I woke up with a cough. That's always terrifying. So I don't know. It's supposed to be leg day. My ideal version of me would have woken up at 5, did my morning routine, went to the gym, came back, already did my 30 minutes, Not my ideal me today at all. Definitely my worst me, bare minimum me I have to offer the world. Uh, Took the cough medicine, did my skincare, put on these clothes. I'm finna freaking go and cross off what I can of my to-do list. And then at 5, I will come home and will I write before or after the gym? Because the gym is a non-negotiable, babes. Non-negotiable. But then the way I'm feeling, is this because I've been going to the gym? Should I work out at home or my apartment gym? I have no idea. Fuck. Something to think on. Something to think on. But either way, I wanted to just check in and say good morning because otherwise I might not speak to you till I get home. Also, since it's Wednesday, I need to do my micro moment exercise, which I'm always excited about. So I will stay on the lookout for moments to recapture later tonight. The exercise is essentially any moment in the day, like at my desk or whatever, and turning it into a legitimate scene. And so I need to live the day first. And then I will come back and write something. So I need my 30 minutes writing, my micro moment exercise, and a gym workout all after work. Beautiful. Great. Lovely. Happy Wednesday. Let's go to work. Okay, just checking in for the day. I feel like absolute shit. I have chills and a headache, and I came home, got naked, and laid on this couch for 2 hours. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep, but it honestly is very blurry. I think I also watched a YouTube video. I couldn't tell you. At this current moment, I still feel like shit. Just turned up my heat, put on a thing of tea because I fell asleep. I am not sure if I will go to bed on time. This is my second week of horrible sleep pattern, but what can we do? I desperately want to write. I have ideas for both my exercise and for I've thought about where I ended on. I don't know why I have to do this, but one of my ears feels really thick. Like it's full or something. So also I desperately wanna just straighten my hair. Something about the way it looks is bothering me, and the way it's interacting is pissing me off. But is wetting my hair really the move when I feel like shit? I don't know. I still might do it anyway. In regards to reading and writing for the day, I did read a good bit of January. Book is so good, and I'm so happy with where January is in her journey so far. I'm on page 90. I was on page 70 something yesterday, so that's good. I've also been watching a few writing blogs. Before I committed to recording these for my channel, I wanted to, I think I said before, scope out what people talk about and all that kind of thing. But now I'm just into it. It's the kind of blogs I like to write. It's motivating me to work on my novel. So there's 2 paths I'm currently on, and I just want to check in before I choose one. I could either A, pass out somehow and try to go to bed. I need to see if I have a temperature or not. I do own a thermostat. Is that what they're called? Couldn't tell you. And just go lay in the bed until sleep takes me. Or I have a pot of tea on, so I'm waiting for the water to boil. So I have a pot of water on to make some tea. I have my Vicks, and I want to take another cold and flu. And if I don't feel sleepy within the next couple of minutes, I'm going to go straighten my hair. I've decided I'm going to do that. If I don't feel sleepy after that, I'm either going to do my 30 minutes writing or the micro moment exercise. I think I'm going to lean towards the micro moment exercise just for the creative energy without I don't want my clouded, sick brain to disrupt the flow of voice I have in the novel so far. So, yeah, those are the two paths. Either I pass out or I get a little bit of one of my to dos. I did not go to the gym. I definitely think my heart rate went from resting like 50 to resting at 89. So I'm absolutely sick. My heart rate variability also went down. So all the metric clues confirm that I feel like shit and that movement would not be the move. It would not help. I'm at 8,000 steps, so if I walk around enough, I might meet my goal. But I'm not pressed. If I don't, I'm not going to get on my walking pad. I'm not pressed. Yeah. Tomorrow's Thursday, so I still would like to do 30 minutes at least tomorrow if I don't tonight. But everything's up in the air. I did not expect to get sick. I haven't been this ill since I went home for Thanksgiving. I went home in November, and when I came back for a full week, I felt like absolute shit. And then I slowly got back to life. And I don't know what this was. Is it the back to school germs of everyone being back on campus? Is it the fact that I work in a hospital and walk through those halls every day? No clue. But this is my second time being sick in 3 months, which is likely because of my poor fucking sleep and and the impact of my immune system. But what can you do? What can you do? Just wanted to update you on where I am. It's 8:51. If you don't sing again tonight, you know what I chose. Amen. Yeah, my head feels hot now. It didn't earlier. I'm thinking we should test. That's still very hot. Very, very hot. Okay. I changed my shirt because I did wet my hair to straighten it because my head hurts too much for the tangling mess that the curls were turning into. As my locks get longer, it's just, I don't know. I'm obsessed with the length and it's everything to me, but also I now understand why I previously cut them. And by cut them, I mean their length. I would never be one of those like, oh, I removed my locks. I don't see that ever happening. But I can see by the end of the year cutting them to my shoulders and letting them grow back out. Something like that. Like I think that'll be my approach to handling the heaviness and tension that comes with long hair. It's hair like everyone else's. It's how other people get haircuts. You can cut locks. It feels a little blasphemous given how much longer it takes you to get the length. But like, life is for the experience. Anyway, my tea is ready, and I actually went ahead and did the micro moment exercise while I was in the bathroom, just kind of in the moment. I've been writing it actually on my phone so that it's more accessible. I know people prefer the clickety clack of the keyboard, but to be quite frank, sometimes even with my scholarly writing for my job, all of it lives in Word docs or Google Docs. And maybe in a tool I often have to rely on is the fact that I need to be off my phone, and being off my phone means off social media. And my approach to that means using my phone for good. So I will open my scholarly writing and type on my phone, even though I have it like the document up on my computer, just to use my phone for something good instead of social media. And I just bring that up to say that writing on my phone is just something I do. Sometimes I'm not really writing the novel. I'm not really writing the novel on my phone. I have saved that to other things, but I've also created a shortcut on my phone to directly open my document and my scratchpad. So let me show you actually. I'm going to screen record. If I press scratchpad here, it will open where I do my weekly creative exercise. And if I open the trilogy, it'll open the working draft. So I'm going to open scratchpad and it immediately opens my creative exercise. So that was last Wednesday's, and then here's the current Wednesday. I figured I'd read it to you because why not? I'm going to stop the screen recording and I'm going to instead insert screenshots. I think that'll be easier for me. So the micro moment is I was minding my business in my office. I sent an email to a colleague. They came to my door and spoke to me. Then I resumed adjusted work. The noticing mode is almost always investigative. I think that's just the tone of my primary character, my main character, Jade. So that's the mode I would try to write in most often. And then the temperature shift goes from low to medium. Like I was chilling, and then some tension is introduced. So this is just me trying to understand scenes and writing them with a purpose. So we have the micro moment and of me just mind my business, sent the email, somebody came and talked to me. 3-4 sentences. Turned into a scene rewrite. So I'd been procrastinating on the biggest task on my to-do list for the past few days. I knew how long it would take to do, and I knew which task specifically accompanied it. Yet, there was a spiral-ridden metallic fence between me and my digital notebook. Climbing it seemed insurmountable, despite it only truly being 3 or 4 feet. There had to be a way over. I stared at my black ballet flats on the white tile floor of the downstairs Wendy's, a stout white man in scrubs on my left, and a plainclothes, brown-haired lady with exasperated eyes to my right. Usually, there'd be more people in this waiting queue, but this wasn't a lunchtime visit. Too distracted by the cement in my throat and rising flaccidness in my limbs, I ventured to grab a wake-me-up snack. 5 for $5, with a bacon cheese potato on the side and a chocolate frosty to drink. I was the last of the 3 of us to grab my order from the black marble counter. Have a nice day. Walking from the food court back to the elevators was just as disorienting as always, like a road trip with no map or GPS. I stepped inside the elevator and smiled through my black K95 to the lady inside. 6 was lit, so I pressed the button to my lower floor. Returning home to the lab hallway was a temporary relief. A long walk to my office still ahead. The walls of cork boards with flyers and collages of papers greeted me on my way. In a spark of needed accountability, I decided against keeping my office door in the same place as the metal fence and pushed the brown triangle with my foot to hold the way open. I was sure this was what I needed to climb my way through this task. After picking over the food I paid good money for to distract me, it quickly came time to face the music. I typed in my password to light up the screens like Christmas lights at the start of winter. I never expected to be the kind of person who needed a mirage of monitors, but the 3 screens were stunningly efficient. One screen held my PowerPoint notes with the updated modeling equations, the next home to my Notion with tabs for every relevant workspace, and the last on the far right was blank. Reluctantly, I pressed the blue symbol at the bottom of my homepage bar to open VS Code. Blue and gray letters lay threatening against the black backdrop. Time to get to work. I began by using the PowerPoint as a guide to update the model definitions in my Python script to the most current update. A surprisingly quick and simple task. Making my way through the notebook, I realized I didn't actually have everything I needed. My 2-week-old request for data had gone unanswered like a vet away at war, so I gathered the courage and will to send a follow-up request to the experimental team. Outlook, sent items, reply all. I returned to my Python notebook as quickly as I departed it, now in the flow of the task. What had to have only been 5 minutes later, my boss's tall and kind frame stood in the open crack of the door. We were under the impression you already had this particular data. You don't? No, I don't. End scene. That felt good. I am enjoying the practice of turning small things into a lot longer because on the one hand, I understand how it could create slow pacing. On the other, I really just need to get in the mindset of what it means to write intentionally, basically. And this is my second time doing this exercise this month, and I'm really enjoying it. So I will try to do this every single Wednesday. Or I'm not even going to say try. Either you do or you do not. I will be doing this every single Wednesday. And I'm happy that I made time for this because it's now 9:53. My fever feels a little less. I did take some Tylenol cold and flu night version. I have the day and night pack. My tea is here already. And now that I've done this, I can cross it off my to-do list, which feels good. I don't think this would count as my 30 minutes writing. I do have a very particular thing in mind. When I have 30 minutes writing as a habit, I really do mean in my manuscript. Though I'm wondering if I should be more flexible and include the 30 minutes I spent on this as part of it. Who's to say? I think I will count it. I don't know. I think any time spent intentionally writing for a certain amount of time should count toward building a writing habit. So maybe I can color that in for the day. I'll think on that. But um, I love that. I don't think I have the mental bandwidth to actually do anything in the manuscript today. My head is not there, though. I will say I was inspired to write this particular scene for my day because where I am in the novel is Jade is at work, and while her job is different from mine, I paused at right before she was starting to do her task, and I just felt like, maybe I should get in the mindset of what it's like to write someone at work. Excuse me. Because this novel is about a grown adult woman. She's 27 years old. She's Black. She's graduated college. She's in her second job. And it's about the dynamics at her workplace, in her family, in the world. And because of where she works is very central to the world building and the themes. So it just felt like a good exercise to get me in the mind of, all right, so when I do go in the manuscript, I have an idea of how to write doing work tasks in a way that's not boring and like super fast, because I think that's what I might have been doing before. So, because yeah, I'm so curious. I've been watching writing vlogs and people are like 100,000 words, and I actually do not have a word count goal in mind for my novel. I've heard what people say, but I'm curious if is that a standard thing, or I feel like I don't want to go by what other people are doing. I just want to go off what feels good for my novel. But maybe I should have a word count goal in mind for each chapter. I have no idea. I'm really like I have my plan, I have my outline as I said, but also my first novel. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm about to cough, so I should just hang this up and speak to you in the morning. See how we get along tomorrow. If we feel better, if we can write in the morning. So far, I've done both of my writing attempts at night, so we'll see. This is still so freaking hot. I would apologize for how my voice sounds, but that's literally not in my control. So I woke up with an even higher tip than yesterday, so I went to urgent care. Turns out I have the flu, and this is what I get for skipping the line. They were doing flu vaccines on the bottom floor, and I didn't have a lot of time left in my break, so I was like, let me come back down. I came back down, they were gone. So, yay. But I have a prescription for Tamiflu. I have a shit ton of the good old illness meds. Mucinex, Vapor Rub, Advil. Sir. And I have my work excuse to be off until Monday. So, and I got a shit ton of snacks because I don't want to have to cook shit. I got 3 soups, I got some cheesy tuna ingredients, and I got some chip and dip. Because I'm going to just chill and read and watch TV today. I will also maybe do some time writing in my chronicle, my writer's journal. And I still do want to show my 2026 books, but I think the best move for me right now would be to start taking this shit and see if it helps me before I really start speaking to you for the day. It's 11 a.m. I need to call my mom and ask her the order I should take all this shit. Okay, mommy? This is why you shouldn't have kids. Because my grown ass still come to mama for help at my big age. Hey, mama. Are you busy? I sent you a picture of all the things I got. I have my prescription, the Mucinex, the Vapor Rub, and the Advil. Just a question on, should I take like turns switching between Mucinex and Advil, or should I take like all 3 of these right now? I got the prescription drugs, I got Advil liquid gels, and the Mucinex day and night. Should I take all 3 right now, or like choose one of the 2 there and switch between the 2, like rotate? Oh, okay. All right then. Well, I have all the things. I appreciate the loan. I'll call you back tomorrow. I just want to let you know I made it home. Okay. I love you. All right. So only take the Tamiflu and the Vicky Vic and see how we feeling. 1 twice a day Do we have a time frame between the two? Mm. No, but I guess one when you wake up, one when you go to bed. Okay, friends. If I do anything reading and writing related, I will check in, and if I do not, I'll come back and close out the vlog. So, fingers crossed. Happy Friday, friends. Happy Friday, friend. I am feeling a good bit better than I was a couple days ago when I was very clearly falling ill. So interesting to have caught that on camera. But I did actually do some writing last night. I got in my 30 minutes of writing before I went to bed at around 11:30 p.m. But it moved me up. Let me pull out my journal. Ooh, about to slip and fall on my own chair. So I got in 474 words last night before going to bed. And today I just got out of the shower. I've slept a lot of these past 2 days to recover. I feel like I said it in my quick blurb yesterday that I caught the flu and I had to get a prescription, yada yada. Feeling better. Shout out to Advil, shout out to prescriptions, shout out to Vapor Rub, okay? Lifesavers. Shout out to modern medicine, okay? My people. Yeah, 474 words, and so I'm at 900 something, and my goal for the end of the vlog was about 1,300 words. So since it is Friday, I did not write it all on Wednesday in the manuscript, but since I did my micro moment exercise, that was still 30 minutes of writing. So I'm still on my building a writing routine goal. I feel like I'm still every day committing to writing. And what I've done so far today is actually turn all of Act 1 into scenes. My outline was just like, introduce these rules, da da da. Like every single chapter just had a quick couple bullet points of what I wanted to discover or to discuss. But then after my shower, and I also have been, like I said, I've been watching a lot of writing vlogs and just listening to people talk and also other script and writing related things. I also bought a shit ton of poetry books this morning. I've been influenced. I am not one to deny being influenced. I bought some poetry books and also some other things to help with my writing rituals. All of that to say that as I was listening and buying things, I was like, some things are clicking in my head, and I was able to think of the book in scenes. For some reason, I was struggling to understand, like, how do I turn these into scenes? Like, I didn't have a clear grasp of what that meant, but then I was like, wait, bitch, you watch TV, you understand how you need to see things. So I was like, all right, if this was a show of some kind, because when you have a really good book, you'd be like, oh, I wish this was brought to television. So, like, I think it's natural to want to see books as literal scenes. So I just kind of switched to that frame of mind, and next thing you know, I Act 1 is in scene level beats or in scene level setups. So I have the scene and the purpose. I'll figure out the beats later as I start to continue to draft. But now that I'm about 2,000 words into the manuscript, Act 1 is all scenes, and I've made it to Act 2 where we have the inciting incident, the shift in tone. I have everything I need to get there. It is indeed a thriller pacer, so like it is a lot of character building up until we get to that point where it's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, that moment. So I'm excited and I'm happy about it. I'm checking in mostly because I'm about to go to the store, and so I had to get dressed. And I was like, well, while I'm dressed and presentable for the first time in days, I should say something. I am going to end the video today. I'm only really going to go get rubber bands. I probably should go ahead and grocery shop, but I don't have I'm still relatively sick, so I'm going to wear my mask and everything, and I need some rubber bands to do my hair. So I'm going to go buy some rubber bands and then come home, probably. I might pick up some soup to bring home. That sounds like a nice time. And come home and do my 30 minutes for today, because even though I am surprisingly doing a lot of my like outlining and thinking in my bathroom. Like I said, I was just getting ready and I was in my towel and I was like, hold on. I have these things on my phone where I've been using the shortcuts app on Apple where you can create shortcuts. And so I've created a shortcut to all of my necessary documents, and I'm doing everything in Google Docs because I've seen what people say about all the other apps and things for writing. But right now, after having lost all my shit before, I'm way more into either written or cloud based. If it's not in a book or in the cloud, it's not worth it to me right now. And so everything is in Google Docs, and I've created shortcuts on my phone to open each of my Google Docs. I have a link to the book for me to start writing in it. I have a link to where I'm doing my creative exercises and a link to my outline. So I was like, let me just go ahead and pull up my outline and start thinking about scenes in my towel. So I was like, can I film that aesthetically? But yeah, the to-do list is to go to the store, get some food, come back and write. And I think I'm gonna close out with my updated word count and maybe a quick 2026 TBR. Part of me wants to save that for its own video, but I don't know if I have enough to say for it to be its own video. But then I am me, and then this will be a 10-minute haul. So who's to say? Who's to say if that'll be in this video or not? But I want to check in, and the next time you see me will likely be the end of the vlog. So happy Friday. As of currently, there's a major storm blowing through the US. Living in Florida, it is apparently going to not reach this far down. So prayers up to the rest of the country. A lot of my friends in Richmond and Virginia and DC are like dealing with that. So I hope that everyone is prepared and safe. So it's snow girl. Oh my God. Anyway, I will see you when I'm back from the store. I need to go ahead and take my medicine. It's been 8 hours. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock. So see you soon. Okay, so grocery store haul. I have a lip brush because for some reason everything I'm drawing is getting lint on it from my other clothes. So I don't know why it's taking me to turn nearly 30 to buy a lip brush, but I have one now. And then I got the rubber bands I wanted to get because I'm pretty sure I'm going to twist my hair. I think that's what I want to do for February's look. And then I found these, as you saw. They say lock ponytail holders and like apparently made for thick hair. So we'll see about that. I love doing things with my hair, and the more the ties, the merrier. Okay, I also got my soup and mac and cheese, so I'm ready to read and eat for a little bit before I get in today's 30 minutes. Let's do it. Oh, there was a comment I wanted to say before I dive back into the 10,000 Joys of January. Something that I'm feeling is validating, though I guess she did introduce one of the things relatively early on. I do like that I'm like 100 pages in and there hasn't been a whole lot of door traveling just yet. There's been maybe like 2 instances of legitimate portal moments. It's mostly just been building up January as a character, understanding her life and where she is, and that makes me feel good about pacing. Like, you know, it's okay to create the character before like making the plot so involved. So that's something that's sticking out to me that I'm really enjoying. And I'm excited to see where the hell it's going though. Like, I think that's kind of the point where I'm like, I'm loving it, but like, so what's going to happen? I'm loving how January is growing up, so what are we getting into? Oh, they didn't listen to me. I asked them to put my chips on the side. They did not. I got mac and cheese and I got soup. All right. I've just updated my journal for today's word count. So it's time for our closing reflection of the vlog. So our mission was to see in technically 3 days, but we're not counting Wednesday. It's Friday currently and it's 8:30 p.m. Was I able to write about 400 words a day? And if I was, did I get to 1350 before the end of the vlog? And well, in summary, I have written 1,412 words this week, which is above my goal. So I definitely think that the 30 minutes a day is exactly what I need to keep myself attached to the book and attached to the story and the novel and feeling like I'm actually making writing a part of my day. Even though Wednesday I didn't technically write in the manuscript, I did write and flex my creative muscles. I've also extended the acts to, I've also extended the chapters to include scenes. I've done way more research in regards to my character's life. Like, you know how you have a vague sense of things? I think my world is definitely built on real existing structures, but just blown up to a different way. And so even though I had surface level understanding of some of the things I set in motion, I've now saved hella articles and other things as references for my story and building legitimate, maybe not real history, but real history because these are real places. Like it's based in like the US, Black women, etc. So this feels good. What surprised me would have to be how easy it's been to get into the flow of writing. Like, even though I assumed that approaching each day with, like, oh, well, where did I stop? But I feel like I've been stopping at good places where I can easily pick back up. So I'm loving how just natural it's feeling to resume writing each day. And what has felt natural, and then what has felt natural so far, has just been getting into Jade's skin, I think. I kind of understand her almost as an opposite to me. Not entirely, but in the ways that count. Like, I think I am way more bubbly and expressive than Jade is. And so, in that way, I can know what instincts to fight against, like what's not really her. Uh, and some things I still have to work on are actually the other characters. I have her kind of counterpart already figured out, but there are other characters that are going to come up in chapter 2 and in chapter 6 and that I haven't fully fleshed out or thought about. I just wanted to get Jade's interiority like on lock and also get my narrative voice real, you know? I feel like I'm really close to the screen. I just wanted to get Jade's narrative voice really clear and my own tone of voice. I feel like this novel is simultaneously like about grief and identity, but it's also kind of a dystopian world. The more I think about it, I didn't totally come at it in that way, but it's like our world, but kind of fucked up. So that makes it a dystopian novel. Honestly, that's not surprising given how many both fantasy, sci-fi, and dystopian novels I love. Like those are my favorite genres to dive into as a reader. So it's not very surprising that this novel is actually a dystopian world. But it doesn't feel dystopian, I think, in the general way. Like this is not Hunger Games Z or like fantastical extremes. I don't think. Who's to say? It's my perspective. Someone else might disagree. But I'm very proud of myself that I have been able to check off every day that I've started this challenge, Monday through Friday. I have written 30 minutes every single day, whether that be in the manuscript, in a creative exercise. I have worked my writing muscles every single day. And sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's when I get off work. Most often it's been off work. And I think what I want to adjust is to make it part of my morning routine. This week I got the flu, so it's no surprise that I wasn't waking up at 5 a.m. every day like I normally am. But normally I am up at 5 every day. And that is intentionally to have time to do these kinds of things before my job, because I would like my afternoons to be more about other things like journaling, reading, working out, walking, going to bed at a reasonable time. So While I'm happy that this vlog has helped me just get into the groove of writing, I do want to adjust what that looks like going forward. So there will be more writing vlogs, whether that be about routine, about craft. I bought a shit ton of poetry books that I want to share. I want to share my 2026 TBR. I want to share different writing challenges and my process, and update you when I get past certain chapters. Like, I see this as a journey that we'll be on together for years to come. So I hope you're down. I'm planning to record at least one a month minimum, maybe 2 a month, depending on just how in the groove. But mostly I do vlog about productivity. I vlog about my life as a scholar. So that looks like things about being a mathematician, about being a WPP founder, about being a really organized person. And that does play into what I'm going to be doing with this writing. But there won't only be writing vlogs, of course. So just want to preface that for anyone who might be looking for a writing channel. I'm not going to be, while I love my girl Olay, like I know her, and her Illuminati verse, and I understand the importance of having multiple channels, I'm just not going to do that. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to create multiple channels for all my interests because I wouldn't be able to handle that. So there's just going to be different playlists because all of this is about my life as a creative. I am still Dr. Quinn. And this is life with me, the many facets of what it looks like to be someone chasing her passions with intention and integrity. So thank you so much for spending this week with me, as wild and loopy as it has been. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you in my very next video. Bye, friend.